What's up, everybody? Lines on Paper here, and I am out here doing a rant because it was just announced. I just saw on comicbook.com, or actually it may have been announced yesterday, that Marvel is canceling the Immortal Hulk with issue number 50. So I want to preface this by saying I don't necessarily have a problem with Immortal Hulk ending, because it sounds like the plan is to end it while it's hot. They're going to do the Seinfeld thing, which is leave the audience wanting more, which unless the final 15 issues or so takes a dramatic downturn, I'm sure the audience is going to be wanting more. But in the interim, it's going to be ending with issue number 50, and my beef with that is it is Marvel's, if not their best title, one of their top three. And letting it go is fine if we're going to be letting a great story go into the sunset before it can be ruined and kind of dragged down to the depths of a lot of their other stories that they're putting out right now, or their other series. But I think that the lesson that we're seeing with Immortal Hulk is we have had the same writer, the same artist on that series, with the exception of a couple fill-in artists and stuff like that, since the beginning. And I've said in previous videos, one of the problems, as I see it, with the comic industry and trying to be a fan of comics today, is that you don't have a creative team that stays on a book for more than, say, 3 issues. If you get 12 issues out of a modern creative team, that is considered a very, very long run in today's market, and that's just something that's kind of become unacceptable. But I shouldn't say unacceptable. It's not ideal, in my opinion, especially when you get a really good team together like you've had on Immortal Hulk. The story's been solid, the artwork's been solid. If you're not reading it, I highly recommend you go back and pick up the trades. I know the back issues have gotten very expensive, especially the first couple of issues, where it was kind of a sleeper hit. A lot of people didn't know what to expect from it, so it kind of had that perfect combination of what makes a valuable comic. It was under-ordered for the demand that ended up being brought about because of how good that series ended up being. I remember I ignored it until a few people told me how great it was somewhere around issue number 3. I was lucky and managed to find a shop that still had an issue number 1 and was able to pay cover price for it. Now that book has skyrocketed. So is the first couple. After that, stores got wind of how many fans this book had and started ordering a better amount. So the values didn't stick with it. But those first issues are very expensive, very collectible, and I recommend doing it. But I do not like the idea of Marvel ending its best title without really an heir apparent. And then I see in the article this Immortal She-Hulk, and I have to say, I am not a fan of this version of She-Hulk at all. One of the things that I thought was interesting about She-Hulk was that she was part of the Hulk family. She had the whole gamma thing going, but she was her own character. She wasn't savage. She wasn't crazy. She didn't black out and transform. She was just always She-Hulk. She was green. She was she was muscular, but not like we're seeing this, which is hulking muscular. But it made her unique. It made her, if you're going to take a character, you're going to give us a female version of an established male character, then make it something unique, make it something fans like. And I feel that fans really enjoyed She-Hulk back in the day. And I know there was, some fan service and tongue-in-cheek with her series when John Byrne was doing it initially, and other artists and writers came on and kind of kept the same vein. But at the same time, one, it was popular, and two, it kept her separated from the Hulk. And then when Marvel started to make their shift towards different, we'll just say, identity politic type characters, She-Hulk, they decided, needed to be more Hulk and less She-Hulk. And now I don't see how she's not just a carbon copy of Banner. Jennifer Walters is now this meek, kind of soft-spoken, quiet. They emphasized the lawyer bit, which was cool, but her, in the old books, the attorney side of her was still very brash and very confident. Now she's just mousy and quiet, and then she rages out into Hulk, and she's just Hulk. There's nothing unique about her. So I'm it could just be me as a fan and somebody who makes comics, but it seems less of an independent character if you're taking an established female character who has her own identity and has her own fan base and her own style and everything else, and then just making her a carbon copy of an existing character and calling it progress. I don't understand it. So I know this Immortal She-Hulk is going to be coming out of the Empire series that Marvel's putting out, the big Kree Skrull Unity book, and I'm hoping this is a one-shot. I don't know that it is, and I really hope they're not hoping that it's going to take the place of Immortal Hulk, because not that I don't think it can be done, it's just very big shoes to fill, and they're bringing in a character that is, from my experience talking to people, is not nearly as well liked as the Hulk. So, I'm about the comic industry getting stronger and doing things and moving in proper directions. That's why I try to highlight the good more than the bad. But in this case, I'll just say I won't call it bad. I'll call it I'm wary. I'm very wary at Marvel ending one of their best issues. But that being said, I would rather see it end on a high note than get dragged down into the muck with some of their other titles. And I really don't know about the direction of taking the Hulk universe. I have no idea what it's going to lead into for Banner and the regular Hulk, so we'll have to find that out as the series concludes. But anyway, share your thoughts. Let me know down in the comments below. Share, like, subscribe the video. Help me out. Again, if you have a chance to do so, please check out my Indiegogo campaign, Malevolent Rising issue number 3, currently now funding, just launched at the time of this recording. So go ahead and check that out. I'll put a link in the description below. And thanks for talking comics with me. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.